Hi everyone. So we're back working with the blueprint for our record player. So far, we've been able to animate it, haven't we? So we've got the turntable to spin, the record to spin, and the movement of the arm as well. So the needle moves on to the record when the character clicks on it. So all good. But we just need the sound, don't we? Which is quite important, okay? So what we need now is to add it, but just add it so it plays at the right point. So the first thing you need to do is to choose the sound that we want. Now in the project here, I've got a sound file. Unreal allows us to use WAV files. It doesn't accept MP3 files. So in case there is an MP3 song you want to use, you'll need to convert it to a WAV file before you bring it into Unreal. Simply come here and go to import. Okay, and then you can import as you do with anything into Unreal. So here is our song. Okay, so that's just a preview for now. Now I need to put it into our blueprint. So the easiest and maybe fastest way to do this, although of course there are many other ways, of course, as always. In our case, this is one of the simple ways that I would suggest. You just press play and that's it. So we'll click and drag it in here first though. See, it's recognized it already, hasn't it? And it's included it as an audio component for us. And there's our file name underneath, which matches that, right? Same name. So this is a node for our audio, our sound file. And the target is going to be the blueprint itself. So that can stay like that. So that's all we need to do for now. So next, what's going to happen? Let's think about this. When the player interacts, the engine is going to play the audio and then the movement is going to happen as well. So when the needle touches the record, that's the key part for us because that's when we want the audio to start playing. So it's all about timing here, isn't it? Let's see if we can reproduce this then in Unreal Engine. So I've added another sequence here to a sequence node, and we can just link it down here. Actually, let's just bring it here first. Before we go in, we need to put a flip-flop, don't we? And when I click on it for the first time, we want it to go into the audio component. So it triggers the audio to play. I can come here, use a return value and add play. So we just need audio and play. There we go. So there's our play node. So when I click again for the second time, we want the audio to stop, don't we? So let's see what we can do here. We can pull out of here and just choose stop here and then attach this here. Let's just tidy up the wires. There we go. Nice. Now the only detail that's missing is the sound's gonna start. It needs to be delayed, doesn't it? It doesn't need to start straight away. So what we'll do is we do the same as we did previously. We'll add a delay just before the it goes into the audio component, and we'll do it in between here, I think. And we also need it to stop as the needle comes off as well, don't we? Okay, so let's put a delay in function A. So we just drag that over a little bit first. Okay, let's put here a delay and we'll give it a 5-second delay. Okay, so we have this set up for when we play it. Let me just comment on it, call it play audio. Okay, and let's just press play to see what happens. Okay, so if I press play, it lifts the arm, rotates, descends, and then look at that, the song starting. Nice. And when I stop it, and then the arm goes back and the rotation stops. Beautiful. So that's basically it. So now I'll just show you another audio resource that might be useful for us to use or for you to use in your project, which is volume adjustment. I'll create a node here and I'll just pull this line, and I can find it if I just type in adjust volume. And I can add a node to control the volume for the sound. Plug it in there. Nice. Okay, now here's the cool part. So if I set this to 1, which I can do just here. So it's 0 at the moment. If I set it to 1, we're going to just test it out. There we go. Moving over, and then it should click on it now. So it's the same volume as before, right? Now, if you want to turn the volume up or down, that's the control that you can use here, and you can have that in your scene. Let's test it again. So it's much quieter now, isn't it? Comparing it with my voice, you can tell that it's a lower volume. One last thing that I want to show you is if I remove the delay, I'll put it back in the end. Just want to show you something. So if I go over here and move throughout the scene, so the sound is just playing constantly, isn't it? It's not changing depending on where I am. So the volume's always the same, but this should change, shouldn't it? Because you're not going to hear it at the same volume if you move about in the scene. So what we can do here is add attenuation, and that's under here. You can toggle on this spatialization. So it's going to work in conjunction with the environment we're in. And we can override attenuation as well. So you can replace the standard attenuation, and then you can open up these other parameters as well. So there's quite a few settings that we can use with our audio in Unreal, which is really cool. But what we can use as an example is fallout distance, okay? And in a radius of 400, which should be 4 meters. So the closer you are to it, the louder it becomes. Okay. So we can use that. Fallout distance is really good, actually. So it's going to fade at this distance, which I believe at the moment is 36 meters. So that's quite far, isn't it? So the sound will start at 0.0 in the blueprint, just there, right in the middle. And you're going to be able to hear it for 36 meters. So let's change that. Let's put here 1 meter. Well, actually, no, that might be too small. 2 meters and 5 meters here. Okay, so if I press play now and then click on it, so the music's starting. I'm not sure if this will work in the video, but hopefully you can hear the sound, and as you move, the sound's moving from left to right. If you're wearing headphones, it's easier to work this out. Okay, there you go. But you can test this in Unreal and see the effect working for you. And as I go further away, the music gets quieter, right? And then if I go back, it gets louder. And this is really good for creating a sense of space in the blueprint. Sorry, not in the blueprint. It's good for creating a sense of space in the scene. That's what I mean. That's it. Let me put this delay back on then, and we'll leave it as it was, and our blueprint is ready and good to go. So that's it, everyone, for this class. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you are able to follow along nicely as well. We saw how we can use timelines in blueprints as well that have animations like this. We reviewed how to use the different nodes and sequences that we've seen before, flip-flops, delays, and set relative as well. We also use multiplication, okay, for the relative rotation. And you can see, can't you, hopefully now, how the Unreal course that we've put together for you, the way we've done it, we're gradually increasing our knowledge base. And then these things that we apply for various blueprints we create are easier to understand, aren't they? So that's what we really wanted. And this helps us with our learning to not feel worried that it's going to be a big leap, because we're learning things gradually. Okay, so nice job, everyone. Well done if you're able to get this far, but this is not the end. Let's continue and take it to another level. In our next class, we'll see a new module with a new blueprint. Okay, see you there.